No one has told you this yet, but the biggest secret about toxic people is that they don't care about you, they only care about themselves. If you've ever felt like someone in your life is just using you, this video will open your eyes. We're going deep today, so get comfortable because by the end of this video, you'll be equipped to spot those fake friends who are using you. And more importantly, you'll know exactly how to protect yourself from their manipulation. All right, let's dive in. You know, we've all been there. Maybe it's that coworker who always seems so friendly or that friend who just lights up the room. But after a while, you start noticing things that don't quite add up. Maybe it's the way they change when different people are around, or how their stories never seem to stay the same. You might even find yourself questioning whether you're being paranoid. Spoiler alert, you're not. If something feels off, it probably is. Today, we're going to talk about the subtle and not so subtle signs that someone is not who they seem to be. And trust me, once you see these signs, you can't unsee them. Let's start with one of the biggest red flags, inconsistency. Picture this, you've got a friend who is super sweet and attentive when it's just the two of you. They listen, they laugh at your jokes. They're basically the ideal friend. But the second other people are around, it's like they're a different person. Suddenly they're distant, maybe even a little cold. They might even start making little digs at you, jokes that don't quite feel like jokes. This is a classic move by someone who is more interested in how they're perceived by others than in being a genuine friend. They'll be whoever they need to be in the moment, even if that means throwing you under the bus. But why do they do this? Well, people who are deeply insecure often feel the need to control how others see them. They crave approval, and they'll do anything to get it, even if it means being fake or manipulative. They may think they're being clever, but over time, these inconsistencies start to show. You might catch them saying one thing and doing another, or they'll change their story depending on who they're talking to. These inconsistencies are not just red flags, they're blaring sirens telling you that this person is not to be trusted. And let's not forget about the empty words. You know the type, they make all these vague promises like we should totally hang out more or I'm always here for you, but when it comes down to actually making plans, they're nowhere to be found. They use these empty phrases to keep you on the hook, to make sure you're always available when they need something, but they're never really there for you when it counts. It's all smoke and mirrors, designed to make you feel like they care when really, they're just keeping you around for convenience. Now, let's talk about their stories. Ever notice how some people always seem to have the most dramatic, over-the-top stories? Everything is a big deal, or they're always the victim of some incredible circumstance. These stories are often exaggerated or entirely made up to elicit sympathy or to make themselves seem more interesting. But here's the thing, real life isn't a soap opera. If someone's life sounds like it's straight out of a movie, that's a red flag. People who constantly exaggerate their experiences are often trying to manipulate your perception of them. They want you to feel sorry for them or to admire them, but it's all based on lies or half-truths. So what do you do when you start noticing these signs? The first step is to trust your instincts. If something feels off, pay attention to that feeling. Our gut reactions are often more accurate than we give them credit for. If you find yourself feeling uneasy around someone, or if you start noticing these inconsistencies and exaggerations, it's time to take a step back. Don't ignore those feelings just because you want to believe the best in someone. It's better to be cautious than to get hurt later on. And while we're on the subject of instincts, let's talk about how these fake people treat others. Have you ever noticed someone who is constantly bad-mouthing others behind their backs? They're always spreading gossip, always critical, never having a good word to say about anyone. This is a huge red flag. People who engage in this kind of behavior are often deeply insecure, and they try to make themselves feel better by tearing others down. But here's the thing, if they're doing this to others, they're probably doing it to you too when you're not around. It's a clear sign of a toxic personality. Let's dig deeper into this idea of manipulation because it's at the core of what we're talking about today. Fake people are often incredibly manipulative. They know how to twist situations to their advantage, and they're experts at making you feel like you're the one who's overreacting or being unreasonable. They might use guilt to control you, saying things like, "I guess I just care more about this friendship than you do," or they'll play the victim, making you feel like you have to be the one to make things right. It's emotional blackmail, and it's a tool they use to keep you in their web. But manipulation doesn't always look like this. Sometimes it's more subtle. It might be as simple as them always needing to be the center of attention. They'll do whatever it takes to make sure all eyes are on them, whether it's by being overly dramatic, playing up their own importance, or even by being overly complimentary to you. But don't be fooled, these compliments often come with strings attached. They're trying to make you feel indebted to them, so that when they need something from you, you'll feel obligated to give it. And this brings us to another crucial point, setting boundaries. It's something we all struggle with, but it's absolutely essential when dealing with toxic people. The moment you start setting boundaries, you'll see their true colors. A genuine friend will respect your boundaries, even if they don't like them. They'll understand that you have your own needs and limits. But a toxic person, they'll push back hard. They'll try to make you feel guilty, or they'll accuse you of not caring about them. They might even try to turn others against you, making it seem like you're the one who's being unreasonable. Here's the thing. Though setting boundaries is not just about protecting yourself. It's also a way to test the people in your life. The ones who respect your boundaries are the ones worth keeping around. The ones who don't, well, they've just shown you who they really are. But let's be real, sometimes it's hard to see these signs clearly when you're in the middle of it. Maybe you've known this person for a long time, or maybe you just really want to believe that they're better than they are. It's okay to feel conflicted. What's important is that you don't ignore the signs. Pay attention to how you feel after you spend time with this person. Do you feel drained? Do you feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly trying to keep them happy? Those feelings are telling you something. And what if you're already deep into a relationship with someone like this? Maybe it's a close friend, a family member, or even a romantic partner. The idea of cutting them out of your life might seem impossible. But here's the truth, it's not about cutting people off willy-nilly. It's about protecting your own mental and emotional well-being. If someone is consistently bringing negativity into your life, if they're making you feel bad about yourself, or if they're constantly taking without giving, then you need to seriously consider whether this relationship is worth maintaining. One way to start distancing yourself is by reducing contact. You don't have to make a big announcement or have a dramatic confrontation. Just start pulling back. Don't be as available. Stop initiating contact. See how they react. If they notice and start making more of an effort, that might be a good sign. But if they get angry or try to guilt trip you, then you know you made the right decision. But what if you can't just walk away? Maybe it's someone you work with or a family member you can't completely avoid. In these cases, it's all about managing the relationship. Keep interactions short and to the point. Don't get drawn into their drama or their games. Set clear boundaries and stick to them. And most importantly, don't let their behavior affect how you see yourself. Toxic people are experts at making you doubt yourself, but remember, their actions are a reflection of them, not you. And here's a little secret: they thrive on reaction. The more you react to their behavior, the more power you give them. So, take a step back. Don't engage in their drama. Don't let them see that they're getting to you. The less you react, the less control they have over you. It's a game of psychological chess, and the best way to win is to not play at all. Now, I know this all sounds easier said than done. It's hard to cut ties with someone, especially if you've known them for a long time. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself what's more important: keeping this person in your life or protecting your own peace of mind. It's a tough choice, but it's one that only you can make. So, what can you do to protect yourself from these fake, manipulative people? First, start by surrounding yourself with genuine, positive people. People who lift you up, who are there for you when you need them, and who don't play games. These are the people who will enrich your life, not drain it. And when you do encounter toxic people, as you inevitably will, you'll be better equipped to handle them. Second, keep building your own confidence. The more secure you are in yourself, the less power these people will have over you. They prey on insecurity and self-doubt, so the stronger you are, the harder it will be for them to manipulate you. And finally, always trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. You deserve to be surrounded by people who genuinely care about you, not those who are just looking out for themselves. All right, now it's your turn. Have you ever had to deal with someone who was just using you? How did you handle it? Share your experiences in the comments below, because your story might just help someone else who's going through the same thing. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more insights like these, and share this video with someone who might need to hear this. We're all in this together, and your voice matters.